Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that is absolutely storming the world of education, artificial intelligence. I mean, it's not some far-off sci-fi concept anymore, right? It's here. It's in classrooms, it's on our phones, and it's promising to completely change the way we learn. But that promise, well, it comes with a really big question. Is this new AI tutor a game-changing partner, or is it a problem we haven't quite figured out yet? Let's get into it.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. It's a huge question. On one side, you have these incredible tools that can break down super complex ideas, help you brainstorm, and give you instant feedback. The potential to just skyrocket our learning feels almost endless. But there's that other side. There's this nagging fear that's starting to grow. What actually happens to our brains when we let an AI do all the heavy lifting? Does our ability to think critically, to really remember things, to come up with our own original ideas, does that start to fade? This isn't just about technology. It's about the future of what it means to be smart. Every once in a while, a piece of tech comes along and just flips the table on everything. Think about the calculator showing up in math class, or when the internet first landed in schools. AI is that kind of disruptive technology for right now. It is forcing us to rethink what learning even is. The big promise is this amazing future where every single student gets their own personal tutor that adapts to exactly how they learn best. But the big concern, which is being backed up by more and more research, is that all this convenience might come at a really steep price for our brains. So throughout this explainer, we're going to look at both sides of this really critical argument. All right, so first up, let's look at the bright side. What happens when we really embrace AI as this powerful sidekick in education? The possibilities are honestly so exciting, and they go way beyond just asking a chatbot a question. We're talking about creating these dynamic, collaborative learning spaces that just weren't possible before. So let's see what the research says AI can really do. What's so cool here is that AI isn't just about one person learning alone. It's actually a powerful tool for learning in groups. Researchers are finding that these conversational AIs can be like a super-powered moderator in a group project. They can help with communication, give feedback right on the spot, and even show different ways to solve a problem. Imagine a history class using an AI to simulate a complex negotiation, and the AI adapts the scenario based on what the students do, all while keeping track of how they're working together. This isn't just about getting answers faster. It's about building those crucial skills like teamwork and communication.
And believe me, this isn't just theory. I want you to meet Oscar. Oscar's this animated AI character, and his job is to help little kids learn math. But here's the brilliant part. Oscar doesn't just talk at them from a screen. The system he's in, called KidsBase, projects an interactive environment onto the floor. So kids might use real physical flower cots, big ones for tens and small ones for ones, to solve a math problem that Oscar gives them. Oscar can even ask the kids for help, like getting them to place a real box on the floor so he can jump on it. It's a perfect example of AI making something abstract like math feel real, tangible, and fun. It's learning as a physical team sport.
Okay, so we've seen the incredible potential. It's pretty amazing. But now we have to flip the coin and look at the other side. The warnings from cognitive scientists and educators are getting louder and louder, and they all circle around one single powerful idea: over-reliance. What happens when we start to lean just a little too heavily on these tools? Well, the early data is a bit alarming. Take a good look at this number: 83%. In one study, where researchers were actually monitoring people's brain activity, a massive 83% of students who used an AI chatbot to help write an essay could not recall a single correct quote from that exact same essay later on. Just let that sink in for a second. They wrote it, they handed it in, but the information never actually made it into their long-term memory. It points to this huge gap that can open up between producing work and actually learning something. So why does that happen? Well, the researchers who found that 83% number explain it with this quote, and this really gets to the core of the issue. When we rely on AI, our brain can kind of switch into a more passive autopilot mode. We're not doing the hard work, We're not struggling to connect the dots or pulling facts from our memory. The AI is doing all that for us, and because of that, the parts of our brain responsible for critical thinking just aren't firing up as much. The big risk is that when the AI isn't there and we have to do it alone, those critical thinking muscles are just weaker. And this chart breaks down the difference in a really clear way, right down to what's happening in our heads. On one side, you've got learning without AI. Your brain is active, it's working hard, it's making new connections, it's even making mistakes. And that struggle is what builds strong, lasting memories and leads to original ideas. But when there's an over-reliance on AI, studies have shown something pretty different. EEG scans have actually measured reduced connectivity in the brain, especially in the brainwaves that are linked to memory formation. And on top of that, the work that gets produced starts to look the same. Essays all start using similar phrases because they're all pulling from the same AI model. We're in danger of trading deep, creative learning for shallow, cookie-cutter answers. So what do? We have this tool that has this incredible potential to teach us, but also an equal potential to keep us from learning. It sounds like a paradox, right? But it's absolutely not a hopeless situation. The way forward, according to the experts, isn't about banning AI or just blindly accepting it. It's about building a completely new kind of partnership. It's all about creating a new framework for smart human-AI teamwork. So, what does human-AI collaboration actually mean in plain English? Well, it's an approach where you treat AI like a really powerful, really smart, but sometimes flawed partner. The absolute key here is its role. AI should never be a substitute for your own thinking. It should be a tool to boost it. The goal is to use AI to handle the boring stuff, to explore ideas you hadn't thought of, and to challenge your own conclusions. To basically augment your own intelligence, not to replace it. So what does this actually look like in a classroom? Well, for teachers, this new world needs a new playbook. Trying to ban AI just isn't going to work in the long run. So instead, they can create smarter assignments. For instance, a teacher could ask students to get an AI to write something, and then their actual assignment is to critique the AI's response, find its mistakes, its biases. Other smart moves include using real-world case studies that an AI can't just make up, demanding that students show proof of legitimate, human-verified sources, and mixing up how students are graded with things like oral presentations or group projects. And for all of us as learners, there's a new skill set we need to build too. This is all about working smarter, not lazier. You can absolutely use AI to kickstart an idea. It's an amazing tool for brainstorming when you're stuck. But don't outsource the actual thinking. Here's a great technique. Ask the AI to play devil's advocate. Ask it to argue against your point, or to pretend it's a specific expert with a different view. That can really sharpen your own argument. And crucially, you have to verify the information it gives you, always. Think of it like a brilliant but slightly unreliable intern. And just remember that golden rule. AI is a supplement to your brain, not a substitute for it. So, we end up right back where we started, but hopefully with a much clearer picture. The AI tutor isn't a perfect partner, and it isn't an unbeatable problem. It's a tool. That's it. And just like any other powerful tool, its real impact, whether it ultimately makes us smarter or dumber, comes down entirely to how we as humans decide to use it. The technology is here to stay, so the real question isn't if we're going to learn with AI anymore. The question is how. The future of learning is still in our hands, not in the code. Thanks for joining me.